Hello, it's Lord Error. That was a kind of a long pause. When I hit start to stream, I actually have to pause, not start talking immediately because otherwise it cuts off my hello. So, that's why sometimes I'm just sitting here. I don't have like a countdown or anything. I should probably count it down, like 3, 2, but I don't. Uh, I guess I would also count not so, the words or the numbers out. They are words too. Uh, Not at the beginning. I would silently count. I just kind of sit here for a second, then I go. Anyways, what are we working on today? We're doing 2D4X. I made a bunch of progress on Hex Demon, but I'm not quite ready to stream it again. I want to get to a part where it's whatever, it doesn't matter. So what is 2D4X? 2D4X is a 2D4X game that I'm working on, post-apocalyptic. I decided that I want to describe what it was. It's open source every time I stream the game, so if you've never seen this before, you know what the fuck I'm doing. We're about this far along. We currently have wars working, which is, well, they kind of work. They work, they're just ugly. So if you have a person that is an army leader, they can well, now it doesn't work. It didn't work. Bugs. All right, I should have paid attention to what I was doing so that I could write down what this bug is. So I turned it into an army leader after I right-clicked. That was the problem. That was the problem there. We got to reset that. I think we'll fix that in a different way. So we spawn a person, we go in here, and it says you're going to declare war. You hit yes, you go over, and then this little thing appears that you can open up, and they shoot their guns. This is probably, we need to clarify 57 versus 27 what? Yeah. So there's a lot of little things, but wars will work now. There's just a lot of little things. And I think we should knock out some of the little things first. The other thing that I was thinking is this is the main tree of all the different things. And it's a little bit confusing when you're in a war for the developer, but also for the player. So I stopped it. Let's hit play here again. I'm a noob programmer. This is Godot, obviously. I moved over from Unity. But in the remote here, under factions, it might be a good idea to keep track of the wars over here that your faction is in. I was thinking that might be a good idea. We could attach a node onto here, and from this we would have a war or even a diplomacy node. But then I was also thinking it sure would be nice to know for the player what wars they're in, because this is gonna, so we're kind of we're getting the inspiration from Paradox Games, and they always put stuff up in the left, and I think that works well. You can click on your, in CK3 or something, your portrait of your leader, etc., etc., etc. It's over here in the upper left. This also now has a thing where if you have, let's spawn this guy, a spawned hero, it shows which hero you have spawned, because it was getting confusing. So I'm just going to move that guy out of the way. I mean, we didn't have to move him out of the way, but we'll just recruit this person as an aide, and we'll spawn them, and then it shows who you have selected. Hopefully it works. Well, it does work. We have this guy selected. This is wrong, though. I thought we fixed this. This should be unselected now. I thought we fixed. Oh, it worked the second time. All right, so let's put that in. And I have a project that you can look at. Everything is open source. So sometimes when clicking, how did that happen? So I just saw 2 bugs. And my goal is to not have any bugs hanging around, because they just compile and grow. And let's restart this and see if we can mimic this, do this again. Duplicate is the word. I'm an IT manager in my day life. So we move this person over here. Then we spawned another one. And if a issue happens once, I just kind of ignore it. But if it happens twice, then I care about it. So we spawned this guy, and then I clicked over here, and this one did not. It should have automatically So let's see, we can put this in here. We're not going to fix it this second. Sometimes when you click a hero after just spawning a hero, when clicking a hero in another county after just spawning a hero, the selected hero doesn't, the previous selected hero does not become unselected. I thought we had fixed this. We obviously did not. I noticed that this on these project pages in GitHub that they start acting slower and slower and slower as you add more things to them. So maybe one of the things we'll do just right now is go to this done list. This is a list of everything we've done, but I have been slowly archiving them. The thing is that when you click done on an issue, it doesn't go to like the top of this list. It just goes somewhere random in the middle of this list, which I've never understood what their idea. So here's some that are like we'll just archive these guys that are early ones. Here, this is a 60. Archive these guys. It's 68. Archive. Let's see if we can find any more of these 60s. Archive this. This is all part of programming. So this oh, there's a 59. All part of making a video game is stupid shit like this. Here's a 40. Here's some 40s. So I have tried to stream every time I work on this. Occasionally I'll do like I'll need to learn how to do the next step, and right now I'm teaching myself how to do the multiplayer step because it's going to be a multiplayer game. So I don't stream that. I am regularly learning new things as I stream, but I try to like learn some stuff offline and then apply it to this game. This game is way over my skill level, but I have another game called Hex Demon that I mentioned earlier. That game is more my skill level. It's very simple, so I make better progress if I can just spend like 5 hours on it. I get so much more progress done. But on that, so I apply what I learned from this game to that much simpler game, and I recommend a simpler game if you're gonna start learning how to program, which is a common question. Simple first. This one is just kind of like more of a fun thing that I'll probably, I'm going to keep working on it forever. But look, there's an 8 over there. We finished this 8. Oh, we're getting into the real early stuff. I'm just going to keep archiving. Just because the reason why I'm archiving is because this screen gets slower and slower and it's more tedious to use. But I've noticed if you look at all these early ones. If you get rid of some of them, it works better. So we'll do this. And I figure at some point in this game, I'll be adding it to Steam and things like that. And I'll stream all of those just to see, so people can be inspired. People can just see what the process is. I feel like sometimes people think that game developers are slacking or whatever, and this just shows that this is what it takes. A noob, obviously professional, is going to do a lot better and quicker. That was a lot, but we're still over 100. I guess we'll get rid of this 70. Here's a 39. I wonder if I paid for GitHub, if it would be, I think I am paying $5 a month, but I paid more if it would work better. How that's like a thing. I was trying to get it below 100. Is that a 50? No. Man. I guess we'll go with like under 100. Because, you know, I archived a bunch in another stream. Here's a 76. Yeah, we no longer are doing stacking of heroes. I wish that I could have gotten that to work reliably. It is unreliable. Here's some earlier ones that I was hoping we wouldn't. There's one more. 80. Here's 78, 71, 67. Here's a big group of young ones, old ones. Old ones. All right, what an exciting stream to just go through and see me archive stuff. All right, so we have these bugs to deal with, and that one, did I just put it in here? Where'd it go? Okay, so that is this first one here. So this is also, you can click on other faction here or tokens. We shouldn't be able to do that. So let's knock out these two. Let's figure out these two issues first, and who knows, that could be the 3-hour stream right there. It's always something. I usually stream on Saturdays too, but I didn't feel like it this Saturday, so I did not stream. That's how it works. If I don't feel like it, I don't do it. So this guy appeared here. Let's do another one just right here and see if it works. And then we Byron, which we hope this is Byron. We need to somehow be able to tell. Maybe that's the first thing we should do. This is too confusing of who these people are down here. This is like a list of the heroes at the bottom, but you can't tell who they are. They'll have different portraits eventually, but even then, even with different portraits, like if you zoom way out, you're gonna be like, who the fuck is this little dude? So we probably should put their names on here. Let's look at this. Spawn token button. This is it. This is the whole shebang right there. We could put a label. I keep complaining about that, so maybe we should just do this, and we'll put a thing. And I like to always, I know it's under war, and this isn't really war, but it is the war branch we're working on. Add label to buttons and hero buttons. And I like to be able to mark off that we've done shit. That's my key thing. I also went through this offline and made a bunch of changes, actually. Updated some stuff, and then when next round is, because we're going through every item and making it and then improving it in the next round. When we get to it, this will have more things, but winning a battle and losing a battle, retreating, like I added all those things in. These are like bugs for a while, bugs and like minor changes. That's why I said improving on this list. We're improving the war. So, and let's add this label under here and figure out. See, this label is quite small. We could put their first name. Well, this is the button, is quite small. I want to see. It's 20 by 20. We can make it a little bigger. I feel like we could double its size, but then it's going to be bigger than the token that we're moving around. How would that look? Let's see. I hope that that's all I have to do to make this so that we can see it. It's quite large. Let's do another one. It's pretty huge. Let's just leave it at this size to see how that feels. We can. So this is not supposed to be the finished product or anything. This is just some some ugly shit that we're doing. So for this, the button actually can have text, but it's gonna put it across the middle. Yeah, and see how blurry it is too. So we're gonna probably want this. We want this on the button, but we don't. We want it to be, at the bottom first off, and it is quite small. But I think what we're gonna do here. Let's put in a fake name that's really long. Fake name that is really long. All right. So then let's fix. Let's change the font size to something. Yeah, 1. That doesn't seem like you changed to 1. Now look how nice and blurry it is too. Yeah, this isn't gonna work, putting a name on this. So I've seen this before, this blurry bullshit. This is like a thing that yeah, that doesn't help either. Let's turn this off. A thing that Godot does, so we have to like make it smaller and make it, it's a huge pain in the ass. So I don't think a name is gonna help us here. Wonder what we can do with this text. Is this gonna do the same bullshit? Let's see here. It is gonna do the same bullshit. And it's also right across the top, even though we put it at the bottom. This is the bottom. Wait, I'm doing icon. Alignment. That's all we got. We have this still running. I don't have it running. Let's look at this. Maybe we'll just have to deal with this later. So one of the ideas that someone in chat gave me that I thought was pretty good too is have this change size as you zoom in and out. So these would get bigger so you can tell. Like I said, with different portraits it would help, but what happens if you have two people that look similar? You don't really know who is who. We could throw in a second or third portrait just so that these are just test portraits so that we can use that as a way to compare. It'd be better if their name was down here at the bottom. The problem is, once again, oh look, I'm clicking through the button. That's a constant issue with how we do this. It's probably because he's already selected. Now we're clicking through all. I wonder. No, I didn't update Godot. It shouldn't. Nothing should have happened there. Look how tiny the token is. And this is the giant button. Yeah, that's not gonna fly. All right, let's go back to this thing and reduce it back down to. Let's get rid of this. Let's reduce this back down to 20. 20. 20. 20. Can we just reset this? Yeah. We don't need that minimum thing. It's going to be set at 20. And then let's make sure that this still works, because sometimes shit goes south and it doesn't work. Well, That looks like a lot smaller than 20. What is this texture rec on? Maybe we needed this 20 in here. I bet you it's the texture rec. It's making it some tiny little thing. Even though the button's bigger. Though it should be able to, you should be able to tell. See, now I fucked it all up. No, there we go. It was the minimum thing. I don't know if I clicked on something, so I was... Okay, I did. All right. It's still very confusing who these people are, so I guess we're gonna leave that in here. I gotta come up with a better way to do this. So basically, we just need a better way to tell between the heroes in the button list. It's too confusing. Maybe with other tokens it will be obvious, you know, if we have a different, because one of the things I want to do, so if we go like to this person, this is just a temporary thing, but this would be their portrait, and this would be on that token right there, on that button. This is a button. So you'd be able to tell that way. You'd have to know what all your people look like. So yeah, anyways, let's just continue on. Well, after I was saying, hey, oh right, this sometimes takes an eternity to update. There we go. Sometimes when clicking, let's fix this thing. When clicking on a hero in another, a little typo there, county, after spawning the previous one, and I fucked with this a bunch the other day, and I thought like I said, I thought we had fixed all of this. So selecting, let's go back through and get to the actual point of where I am actually clicking on something. So this guy is going to move over here. And then we spawn another one here. Recruit aid. Yes. Close. We spawn this person. See, that worked. It moved it over. But then I'm going back and I'm clicking this button and it's not firing whatever we're supposed to be firing here. So let's look at this button's. This button should have a script on it, which is this one right here. And update button icon. On button up. I'm going to change all these now. I'm going to start using on button pressed because that's a different thing. The other thing I also did while I was offline is I went into these properties and I changed this to net 8.0 because I didn't want, it was on 6 before and I wanted it to be on 8. So that's the C# version basically. On button up, the select token, the county population token is assigned to the select token. Update token textures. So this is when I click this one, but it needs to interact with the one that we just and I thought we built that in there to automatically do it. This is to block so you can't click through shit, which it's obviously not working. Update token texture. So how do we know? Man, I thought we already went through this whole thing. I'm almost positive we did. We were doing it with is selected. So when we click on that thing, maybe we have some leftover code. Where the fuck did that go? Here it is. Update token textures is selected equals true. So on button up is selected equals true. And then, so that's on the select token. The select token is this still, update for each of the, so this is every one of these things in this list, it updates it, but it updates the icon, because there can be multiple. It's a list. That little thing at the bottom with the heroes it's not a list, it just looks, it's why we're calling it a list. So this is being set to is true, and we're using the capital I there, so that means it's hitting the correct getter setter. That's under select token. This thing is being update button icon, button up, select token equals this county population dot token. So that's the correct thing. This is on this actual button. This is being set. So let's go to select token. Is selected value. If it's true, yeah, we need to set the old one. The old one needs to be set to, and I had this set up so that it was when the token texture was changing, but it was becoming too convoluted, so I went back to this bool, so the bool would control this. So if the value is true, the texture is going to be assigned the selected texture, which is that gold circle. If the selected population is not equal to null, and the county population is not equal, so if it's not already selected, the currently selected token equals this population thing. Currently selected token value true. That should be down here. Oh, time's passing. Currently Joseph, well, I don't know these people's names. Joseph Brooks. Which one are you? Okay, so Joseph Brooks. Joseph Brooks selection is false. So then we're hitting this thing, and it's not putting this here. We can double check, I think, over here to see. There might be something else like firing it. So in the remote, this guy is going to be underneath the counties, actually, and he's in Portland. And he's in this V box. Yes. He's going to be in the hero V box. No. Yes. Because it's this button. Spawn token button. But it's not his county. I don't know if we can't check this guy's shit. Is he spawned though? He's not spawned. He's just sitting in there. We can click on this object, but it's just this. Horned guy selected. No, that's... So this is wrong, which we obviously can tell here. So then after this, it says, we don't have a thing in here. It looks like Joseph Brooks, that's the guy, is selected as false. The global instance county population is Beverly. Beverly is true. So I wonder why this didn't update his texture. I wonder if we can get the name of this texture. False. Unselected. False. Is selected. And then we'll actually do this with a $ sign over here. That way we can have some more, we can use some squigs and stuff. Value, because we want to know this value. And then, oh, my light's just dimmed. That's not a good sign. We want to know that, and we want to know the texture, this unselected texture, because maybe this unselected texture is wrong. Or maybe this sprite thing is wrong. Unselected texture. We need some squigs in here. But I want oh, it's a lowercase u. I don't know if I can put name in here. Resource name? I don't think that's going to optional when defined. No, that's not going to give us shit. This is just going to give us some gibberish. But we'll see what we can do with that gibberish. And then sprite texture. And then hopefully this will tell us something. And we'll just look at the first one that comes out to see if we can figure out what this shit is. It's almost like it's not happening, but we can see that it is happening. What did we call this? Is selected as the beginning of this. So it's not getting... We probably don't need this number of visible panels, but we'll leave it there. Okay, it wouldn't have gotten there because it's false. So it's only going to show that if it's false. So that's correct so far. It's not anything. So let's move this person. And then let's spawn a new one. And then we'll see. Wind, how's it going? So this is 702. These. Let's put this. What was the thing you were telling me, Wind? It just dawned on me. Something with the arrow keys? Control arrow keys? No. Alt arrow keys? There we go. Let's put this down here. Because these should match, but then we can also look at what this is. But right now we can look at what this is. This is, what did I put? The first thing we want, 702. 702. So if we go to remote here, and then we go here, I don't think this is going to tell us. $4605. I'm just looking at the last. What's going on with the chat? The chat is looking great. You know, I changed something with the chat. That's looking beautiful. I changed a property in the chat today. It looks like it was the wrong property. Let me fix that. I can't remember how I did this the other day, though. This is the other day. It was like 6 months ago. This should be... opaque background. I have this background that you can see in the far right. Oh, it doesn't tell me the size of it, though, huh? I changed one thing. I wanted the chat to stick around for longer because it only stuck around for like 30 seconds, and I noticed a lot of times it wouldn't that wasn't long enough. Oh, I see what it did. It expanded across the whole screen. Okay. That was interesting. Not a plan thing. It just suddenly, because I changed one thing, it decided. The word boobs doesn't do anything for me anymore. I feel like when I was young, at 12, the whatever. You know what I'm doing. I'm flipping over a calculator. So this seems to be wrong, though. So I feel like this isn't happening. Let's run it again with this below, though. Because it should be the same. We're assigning the thing. I was saying earlier that I started teaching myself the multiplayer things. It's pretty interesting. I messed around with the Unity's multiplayer, and that was kind of a nightmare. And pretty much what everyone said for Unity's multiplayer was just to use like a third party. So this is the same. It's saying it's the 352 texture. Oh, we need another person. That's 352. Looks like it's the selected one. We need another. We'll let this person get to where they're going. So Unity has its built-in multiplayer, which they were like implementing as I was using it. So like there would be an update, and you would update Unity, and everything you had would break. And so it's actually this button. So we can actually check both of the. So this is right though, but when we click this, see, this is wrong. See, these are both 702. I know what's happening, I think. This is changing, but it's not updating. It's not updating the button. The button needs to. So this changes. The sprite texture changes, and it did, but this button is what we needed to change. It's not getting updated. So when this thing updates, we need this button to also update. So we were just on there, it's right here. We need the old button. Which, I'm trying to think where that would be stored, where we could say, hey, button, do this. But one of the things I want to do with the multiplayer that I haven't even gotten this far yet, but is I want to have a little server that's the size of it, a little server like on a Linux box somewhere, that the people connect to their game, that just sits there host with a host, and then the people connect from both their client games connect to that little server, and then they say, hey, connect me to this person, then it connects to they connect to each other from there. I don't want to have it so that the multiplayer, they have to connect directly to each other. I want to have that extra step so it can be easier for them to get. So basically like a port punch through. So they don't have to go through all the port forwarding and all that crap at the beginning. They only have to do it one time, and then and the game will do it for you. Godot will do the port punching one time, but if like whatever. And then there'd be a list of all the games, and I've gotten very, very, like I said, only the beginning of it, but and also That way, if someone else who's not using Steam can play with someone, because eventually it'll be on Steam. This will be on Steam, but I don't want to limit it just to Steam. And I think that the problem I'm having is figuring out how, once they connect to this, to tell them to connect to each other. It seems like that shouldn't be hard, but I gotta like mentally think through it. Okay, so we need the other button to be updated. We need to tell it, and this thing is on a button, but it doesn't know. The token doesn't know its button that it is, and we could do that. That's I Googled around a way, looking for somebody else who had done it that way, and there's tons of people said that's the way you have to do it, but no one has anything beyond. That's the way you do it. That sentence. That's all they say. Well, how do you do it? That's the end of the conversation. Update token textures. So we need to. I vaguely remember talking about this before. I think we need to tell it what token, under select token, we need to keep track of its button, basically. I think that's the only way to do this, is because we're hitting this from over here. This button. Yeah, I vaguely remember thinking about this. Maybe I just said, fuck it, we'll deal with it later, but now I want to deal with it now. I think the token needs to keep track of the button that it is. That's the only way I can think of doing this. I guess we could keep track of the button here. The last button you pressed here. That's going to get confusing as fuck. When on your take game are you going to do multiplayer? It'd be very confusing. Wonder why this has a little lines under it. What's your problem? Lies is what its problem is. I think the best way is just keep track of the button here. It's got to be kept track somewhere in the if the token knows. I'm pretty sure that the county population does not keep track of the button, and it seems dumb that it would. It's back to that the thing where I keep saying I'm trying to not get sidetracked and start all these new projects, and then I was like, except for multiplayer, I'm going to start a new multiplayer project. All right, let's put this in here. What is this thing? This is a button. This is not a button. This is going to be right here. It's going to be a public spawned token button, and it's going to be called spawned token button. And then we're going to go back to select token already contains a definition for that. I guess I already thought of this. I just didn't see it hidden down here. I guess I could have deleted the other one. It should be right here. All right, so what are we doing with this? If we already know what this is, I must have started doing this and then I was done for the day or something. It's been a week, I can't remember. So when this thing, let's put an export on here. Actually, do we need one? No. So when this thing spawns, it needs to be given, like, this is your thing. This says spawned token button, but this is not what spawns it. This is going to, the thing that spawns it is the token spawner thing, which I don't see up here. So we will open it from down here. It's the spawn token checkbox thing. That's the one we were just looking at. It's not that one. I single clicked it because I was about to double click it. It should be here. Hero panel container, it's this one. And then we do it in the token spawner. Look at this wall of garbage. What is this thing doing? Decide if... Okay, so this is so you can't select other people's shit. Oh, right. Let's put a note here. This is so that the AI doesn't spawn. The AI's token spawning doesn't make the player select it. So basically, when the token was being spawned by the AI, it would come out selected, and that we only want that to happen if it's the player's stuff. So this should go to true, but we can also write in here, because this is the final thing, and we need to have the spawned token button equal this, which is this. Nope, not this. It's gonna equal we already did this. This needs to keep track of the button. We already did this. I'm redoing work that I did that I can't remember that I did. So then if that's the case, we go back to the select token, and we need to go to the update. This needs to update the button, which I think I have an update texture button thing, wherever the fuck that was. See, everything's everywhere. Battle control log. We are going to be fucking with that later. We're going to be fucking with that later. We're not going to be fucking with that. Hopefully we won't be fucking with the clock. Spawn token button is what we want. No, it isn't. We're going to be going... it's going to be under select token. We want this to equal this, and we want spawned token button dot texture not texture. It's the one below it. We don't have this in here. Token icon texture rec is what we want. So where the fuck was this? Okay. All that for one line of code? What the fuck? Maybe that's the solution, though. There's only 50 minutes. I did delete a bunch. Well, archive all those things. All right, this guy goes to here. This guy goes to here. We spawn this guy. This guy's now unselected. There we go. That was the solution. All that fucking... Well, I need to remember how my game worked. Like I said, it's been a week. And then that's the only testing we're going to do, because if we test it more, it might still be broken, and we don't want to know that. Ignorance is bliss. Sometimes when clicking on it here, and okay, this is the one. We fixed it. Close the issue. Pretend like there can never be any other issues. I still don't know what to do with this, so I'm just going to move this. We're just going to put this down here. You can click on other faction tokens. So for that, to test that, we need to go to war. And I'm pretty sure that we still can do that, but I'm going to double check, and then we'll be able to test that. And this should change to a different icon now. We did this last time. This is a little war icon. And we'll go to war. We'll go over to here. Let's see if we can click on this. Yeah, see, so that's the problem. This also isn't updating to the right token. So there's two issues here. AI army tokens aren't updating to army icons. We need to automate this process so that this doesn't keep happening. So, back to this button thing, on button up, if county population faction data is equal to globals with a capital G, and then else, what is that thing that kids say today? Get wrecked, motherfucker. There we go. We'll know what that means in 2 weeks. Now to test. Make you an army. Let's keep an eye on this over here through the thing. Yeah, see, so this one is working correctly. And then we send him down. We gotta unpause the game. Yep. See, you can't click on this. So that's what we want. We don't want to be able to click on this. So that was... Oh, here's the thing. Sometimes you can't click on this, and I haven't been able to figure out why. Because sometimes if you go... See, now you can. If you click away... Okay, I can't do it again. Okay, so how is this? It's after you've opened it once. Is it when the game's paused? No, that no, that's still paused. Okay, so I close that and suddenly I can't click on this anymore. This is well, now I can. It seems like there's two different issues. So like if I click here, that works. There, no. Now here, it's not working. And it's just not working. But then I click here, and that does work. Let's do another test. Let's click over here. Okay, so that... We close that. I think there's another panel. Okay, there's something weird. The panel on the left is not visible when you can... This? Is that what's going on? That goes away. Yes. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it does have something to do with this. Because I'm clicking away here. And then, okay, let's go look at that. Maybe that control is, we're on local. Maybe that control is some crazy ass shit. This one is not it. It's, what the fuck is this thing? County in here. Oh no, it's this. All right, so it's the top one. Idle workers, hero panel. What is it? This should have two over here. I'm just double checking that I know what the fuck I'm doing here. Oh, I need to rename this HBox container because it's kind of confusing. It could be. Let me move. I can move the map. County title, population, heroes. Heroes VBox container. I think it's this heroes. I need to rename county and heroes. That it's because I haven't fucked with this in like 2 months. Let's see. Let's move this somewhere else. And then we'll select over here. And now that this is open again. Whoops. Yeah, so there's something. Oh, is it this? This is new. Let's test this hypothesis. Okay, it's definitely underneath here. And I no longer can click it. That's what it's this. There's probably an invisible thing. I gotta change this music. And there's this band called Mother Mother that I like one of their albums a lot, and then the rest of their albums I think are trash. Which is fine. I appreciate it when bands move in different directions. I embrace their artistic integrity. It just doesn't mean I have to like it though. Local. Local. Okay, we're on local. This is this new thing. It's this select county thing. Wake up. Let's stop. Stop what you're doing. It says it's right here. Maybe it's this H. Here's the motherfucker right here. This H box that I added last time. This is going to be county info and selected hero. See, that's why I have to be so verbose and all this shit because I can't remember anything. Then we're going to go pass. We're going to ignore you. And thank you, Win. That was the key thing that I didn't notice. So now let's see here. It seems like this would have not worked either, though. Oh, we're getting an error here. Oh, I know what that is. It's because I have this open. Shown. I'm going to take a break in 2 seconds. I just want to test this. It seems weird that this, though, wouldn't have been a problem. Maybe Rez is getting lucky. Well, we're definitely going through the button, which is, or this is happening. So let's move this guy down here. We got to turn you into an army, though. I right-clicked already, so I think this is going to fuck this up. Yeah, it fucks it up if I do that. We got to fix that, too. And that's already on the list. Basically, I think it's already on the list. We'll just add it again. If the hero is already moving when you turn it into an army, basically we need to, if a hero is already moving, you shouldn't be able to turn it into an army. You need to send it home first. This list keeps growing. It's going to be huge. You can click on other player factions. We just fixed that. What the fuck were we testing? We were testing something else. Okay, so this guy, we need to turn, whoops. We need to turn him into an army leader. We need to right click, declare war. But this isn't below that thing. I guess it is. And you know, that's why sometimes I think I was like clicking like here and it was working. But let's get it like, yeah, let's get it right in there. Yeah, that was it. That was the key thing. I usually just close these, but occasionally I'll put in a note that's important. The new selected hero UI element was fucking shit up. All right, I'm going to take a quick break and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Gotta put up my break timer wherever it is. Let's wonder if it got fucked up. Nope. All right, be right back. All right. Let's see. What do we got here? Break timer off first. I kind of wish I had streamed yesterday. Now I'm regretting not. I had started to set it up, then I just decided to take a nap instead. That's my life. Because I'm not. I want to be. I want to make more progress on this, and I think about it all the time, like the cool shit that I'm gonna do eventually. But you know. Let's see. So if this thing's moving, what we have to do is disable that button on that description panel, which actually I don't think should be that hard, which of course I'm cursing myself. It's going to be a nightmare. We need to disable both those buttons. So there's a description panel here. Everything is coming back to me. And it has all these labels and shit. I should probably put some export groups in here so I can tell, so this is more easily organized. Basically, I need to get more organized altogether. That's what we're doing going forward. More organization, more better comments, more switches, less of these things. 3 things that are on the list to improve things. But right now we're not going to do that. We could put a switch in. No, it's just an if then, though. Or if else. So update description. Do we have... I think this is in... the token movement is just... Yeah, it's just here. I don't think we're putting it in the county population because it doesn't exist unless it's... So it's unselect. So what we're going to want to do here is we're just going to go disable UI elements, I think, is what we're... Okay, so this disables them all, and then these things turn them back on. It looks like... That seems like a weird way to do that, but there's probably a reason. Probably what was happening... Yeah, what was happening is as you were opening and closing them. So after this, we're just going to need like another... Let's put a comment in here. If the token is moving, disable the ability to turn it into an army. And then we'll go if county population token movement move. Is it move token? That did me no good. Token movement is pinned right next to it though. I thought it would just move. If move token equals true. If move token equals false. You know what? The problem with this, putting this here actually, is that we're enabling it somewhere else. Those are the titles. We need to turn this into, we're going to turn wherever we find this thing, we're going to turn it into a method. We're not going to have all this wall of fucking text here. Update attributes, disable, update skills, army leader button, disabled true. It's right here, actually. If it's equal to the same faction, and and the county, wait, let's copy this. And we're going to put this down here. I make this bigger. I make everything like this so it's all in one line and we can read it because I have this bigger. Maybe I should even make this bigger. There, we'll go over 200 so it's easier to read when I'm streaming. We'll go with 200. We'll get rid of this shit. If token is moving and belongs to the player's faction and doesn't belong. So this says if it's your faction and this is false, and we'll put this here, and then we'll turn this into a method. This will be called check for army recruitment button. That's what we'll call this. And then we will cut this and we'll put it down here. I want these in easily little, why are you loving me here? And we need to pass in, it looks like a select county, which is fine. And we'll go back up to here. And we'll pass that in. And then we'll go back. If it's not moving, it does this, and it will turn it on disabled true. I guess. I guess. That seems like I did that backwards, but sometimes the backwards stuff works. So the right clicking, he's now set to move. Yeah, now this is turned off, but let's move him somewhere. Do we have this set for him to go back? No, there's some other issue there. Can we? Oh, he's not here. And so that's fixed. But I just noticed it. Man, there's so many bugs. You gotta fucking rebuild everything, make it stronger. We want to recruit someone here, Joe King. Joe, your name is very close to the edge of the screen. I don't know how I feel about that. So if we start somebody moving, we should be able to right click here, which I've done, it says, and he should go home. But he doesn't. We're going to put this in war too, even though it's really a hero thing. Moving to a county and you right click on another, when a hero is selected and moving to a county and you right click on another county, the hero should go home. It's any other county. Any other county except for its original destination. Destination. That's not how you spell that, I don't think. If you wonder why I'm so anal about spelling, it's that I've always been terrible at spelling from the beginning of time. and words don't look like words to me. I can read them, I just can't write them. They just look like various symbols on the screen. And so throughout my 50 years of existence, I have been trying to improve on that. And it's like a personal challenge. I keep trying to save this. I keep going to Control Save, Control S. Personal challenge to spell better, even though at this point I'm so old it doesn't matter and I'm not going to learn anything because it's pointless. But that's what we're doing. I'm doing. Okay, so that was fixed. We've already got this one done. If moving, that was fixed. And AI tokens aren't updating to army icons. So it's possible that we are not even assigning them as armies. So when that happens, so that's part of the declaration of war. So we declare war. I'm so stoked to have a few swallows of coffee left here. So when we say yes, it declares war and responds to declaration of war. Defender spawns armies. So it's this defender spawns armies. So it is firing the same spawning code that the player uses, which was on purpose. Yes, I planned that out. I know it's surprising. So it spawns this token. And it is an army leader equals false. But are we saying it's an army leader? We have to go back because it needs to be. We have to go through this fucking diplomacy. I might bust this into two different things. Is army leader equals true? So that's definitely there. What happens when we fire this is army leader? Oh, I just thought of another thing that's not going to work with this code. This code's wrong. I'll show you what I just thought of. The problem that I just thought of was if we go to here, whoops. If we go to this one, the faction leader is here. And if we go to this, I'm gonna turn it into an army first. We go here. We declare war. Oh, it spawned him over here, though. We don't know who that is. But it's busted, yeah. It probably... we can't look at this stuff because it's not our person. Helen Murphy's our person. It's probably spawned, yeah, it did. It spawned Johnny Wood over here, and it shouldn't have. So that's another issue. We're going to have a lot of small issues here. If you attack a county, the AI factions don't have a faction leader. Actually, let's just put this how it's supposed to go. Each county should spawn the best, should spawn defenders depending on who is there. So currently it's just spawning the faction leader because I was like just wanted to test it out, but that's now, see, that's causing a long-term issue. So we'll fix this as well, but we got to fix this token thing first. So back to diplomacy. This must not be working. Spawns the token. That's fine. Assign the token textures. So why isn't this working then? Assign the token textures. I clicked on the wrong thing here. If it's false, it does this. Else, where is this at? All token textures. I wonder why this isn't working. You know, it probably is. So it assigns the correct textures to it, but then it's going to... Where is this thing like? Token spawner. Do I have you pinned somewhere? Because I need you to be pinned. Wow, we have a lot of shit pinned here. So this assigns it. And I think what we're... I think what we're doing is... Update token textures. That's not... This doesn't... This is a dumb name for this. It does update the button. This is very convoluted as well. A lot of convolution going. This is at the bottom, just in case the getter setter is fired too fast. There should probably be changed into a public method somewhere. Decide if selected. This is so that the AIs aren't making, doesn't make the player select it. So that needs to be there. I don't know what this node is, so I'm going to get rid of it. This one makes sense. Update token textures. This has to be below the county population assignments. We need this here. I was looking to see if we can delete this, but we cannot. Oh. I haven't been seeing the YouTube. I updated another thing today. I'm not seeing the YouTube messages. Sorry, guys. Jeff, have you looked at newly their web sockets? I have not. You're not going to do the simulation on the server to stop cheating? This is a very old message. I totally missed these. So no, the reason I wanted it as server that you connect through is just for the connection, to make it easier to connect and find your games. I feel like connecting game to game, just in my experience of playing multiplayer games like Dominions and stuff, it's always like a huge issue getting, it takes 45 minutes with port forwarding and all that to get your friends together to play, and then at that point people have lost interest in playing. So the idea was to try to get it to just be easier by having if I hosted a little server, but I also didn't want it to go through a hosted server because then you got to pay for a nicer hoster server. But if I pay for like a $5 Linux server and all it does is host the number of games, that's a lot less expensive than having like a Windows fucking virtual server. And then what happens if it gets popular? You know, I can go up to a $15 a month Linux server and it would be fine if that's all it's doing. I don't want it to, have bandwidth going. Let the players and them deal with that shit. But just to connect temporarily, just to find the games. And it's crazy is I was thinking about that. Then I streamed on my other channel, Cosmeteer. And that I'm pretty sure that's how they do it on Cosmeteer. And I was like, well, this is exactly what I was thinking of. So when you go and try to join a Cosmeteer multiplayer game, you click multiplayer, it goes to a list of all the multiplayer games that are available. You click host, your game appears on the list, and then your friend picks your game, and then they show up, in like a list of players that are in your game. You say start the goddamn game, and then I believe that you're no longer going through that server. You're connected back and forth. And Vincent, yes, it's a switch. I don't know which part you're talking about, but yes, it's a switch. Would be the 9,000 if statements. I refreshed my little activity thing, so, and I guess I could test it here to see if my chat still isn't going through. Oh, I see why. It is. There's two chats. Oh, but yours, it is now. Well, usage issues. But now I can see your guys' chat. Sorry. But yeah, that's the two things. And yes, there's switch for these if statements. I don't know if that was you were talking about this. So let's see here. What was I doing? Oh yeah, this thing needs to change, and I don't understand why it's not changing. So we were trying to track that down. So when the hero is being spawned by the AI, what is the difference? There's a check. That's just for where it puts it, if it's an army or not. This adds the button in there. This assigns the thing there. And there's this new thing that happens. This is back to the chat issue, that I have two chat windows appear in OBS, and I haven't been able to get rid of one of them. I have it like turned off, but it still appears over the top of my good chat. Normally I notice it, but I did not this time. So it's got to be something with these update token textures, which is right here. I was going to click through. Select token, sprite, texture equals the tokens thing. It's counting through, or it's getting the location, update button icon, which we're doing over here, right? No, we're doing update token textures. So what is this thing? Maybe this is off. That's this. Surprised we didn't get a bug. Did we get a bug? No, that was a different bug. So it's getting it. What I think it. Let me look back at this. I wonder if this thing isn't getting its correct location. That's happened in the past. Let's see. So to test this, we got to turn you into an army. And so right here, what is this dude's name? Dorothy Scott. Is this 3? 1, 2. I think 3 is Portland. 1 is Tillamook, huh? So that's right. This is Tillamook. These GD prints are not that useful in this particular circumstance. Actually, let's do this. I save the rainbows for specific, like when I really need to find them in a list of all my things. Let's do this. Do we have our county population? Yeah. Let's do first name only. I don't think we need the other names in there. All these, it keeps saying this. I think it thinks this is connected or something. I don't think that can be simplified. Oh, is this new? Is this a new thing? What happens if we do that? That goes away. I've never seen this before, but I did change it to net 0.8. No, 8. I've never seen that. I'm going to go back. So let's see here. Let's see if this is going through the correct. We need it to go through both. Oh, I need to declare war. And we need to be able to not declare war. I guess I could just move the person back. Okay, so this person, I shouldn't have moved him. See, here's the rainbow thing, because that's important. I need to know when the panels, and that actually, okay, so Martin. So it's going through this. It's getting to Martin. Uh, I wonder why Martin is not getting his correct thing. So it should go through and get these army is army leader. And we already checked this thing under diplomacy. And this is a county population, right? It is. And this is going to spawn and assign the token. No, it's returning a county population. It's going to assign this back. It is. I bet you what's happening is county population is army leader. Did I hit insert? For the love of God. Hopefully not. This person an army leader? I bet you. And then that would be weird, though, that the other stuff was kind of working. I guess it wouldn't be weird. We should probably put some sort of error checking in there, though, to make sure that they're not fighting a war when they're not an army. Is this person an army leader? True. I guess I'm going to leave this here for a second. But I guess just to keep this county population. So if they're an army leader, yeah, and this shit's working because I remember we tested that. Well, it was working. Decide if selected. Spawn token button. It's got to be in here then that there's something. Update token textures. For each one of these, update button icon. Trying to think of a way we can figure out what is what is going wrong. We can look at the remote, but that's not going to tell us anything. Joker. That is, yeah, I know that feeling. This doesn't really tell us anything. This isn't Tillamook. Just gonna show us the same thing. Mm. All right, let's go through this one more time. The thing spawns. The token spawner goes through all of these things, this ridiculous number, there's a ridiculous list of things. So it has, we pass in the select county and the county population. So we're going to assume that that's right. The hero spawn, yep, that's going to put its parent. We know that's working because we just looked at one. And it's going to instantiate the token. Then it's going to add it. Because remember, this works for the player. It's going to add it to this thing. It's going to assign the county population, which we have up here, to the spawn tokens county population. It's going to assign the textures. Let's double check that, because this might be a spot where it's going wrong. So this is under, I guess we don't have this open anymore. We'll pin this temporarily. If the token that we're passing in, it's county population, we know that, well, maybe we don't know. Maybe we're assuming that this assign token textures token county population first name, and actually, yeah, then we'll just put a plus in here. Whoops, that's not a plus. Then we're going to put a plus in here, and we're going to go county population is army leader. So that when this happens, we'll be able to tell if this person, maybe it's not, he's not an army leader at that point. And I guess we'll just run this and we'll know if that's the issue. We'll leave that in there for now. You know what I'm not testing, actually? Let's do this a different way. Maybe this is happening with the player. Because I'm spawning it. Oh, look, I'm getting... Let's do this again. What's going on? Oh, when this thing pops up, I'm getting some errors. So let's fix that. Okay. It's because this is currently null. This token is null. And I can't remember. There's a way to do like a null test in here. You do like a question mark or some shit. It's not that. Um, Chat GPT will tell me though. It didn't make me didn't make me log in. That's not what. No, that's not the answer. Um, no. I want. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if I can ask it a different way here. I think you can put like a question mark or something. Get the fuck out of here. What? You had to do. What? What is it telling? If this is not equal to, and this is, oh my, oh, it's doing each line. Okay, so maybe I'm confusing it. Uh, so we just need to make sure that, so it's going through each one of these, which I guess is it's fine. We just need to make sure though that this token is, um, I swear there's a way to do this with like a question mark too. Somewhere. And I'm just trying to C# null check question mark thing. Now I want to see. Maybe I'm thinking of something different. I was looking at one of these. I feel like some of these are generated automatically. This is what I'm thinking of. Is object null? Value is not null. Value is. Another interesting null check feature that was added in version 8 was null coalescing assignment, which basically the null coalescing with an equals operator. If the value is null, then assign to whatever we mention after. But this is assigning stuff. I don't want to assign stuff. All right, we'll just do it. We'll just do it the other. I was just trying to make this less of a ballooning situation. So we want this to, the select county comes in, we got the county data and it equals faction, and if the county population dot token equals false, but we need to say and we need it to be able to work if if this equals this, whoops. Now I cut and copied. We need to have it if county population token is not equal to null. Bowl also would work. Then do what the fuck? There we go. But this isn't true, actually. This is. I need some more coffee. Oh, it's like my last sip. um, uh, if county population dot token is not equal to null, if this is true, where are we assigning this county population? Oh, this is at the top of the thing. Okay. So I just got to think of a different way to do this too. I was seeing how much time until it breaks. Sometimes the breaks help, and a lot of times the breaks help, and everything becomes more clear. I didn't have a warm up session of coding yesterday either. I noticed I code better if I've coded the day before. Uh, so what is the fuck am I testing here? If the faction data, so this is if that button's going to appear. The problem is that it's checking the null thing, so that should come up. You click that button, this pops up. If this is already, but we needed to check if it was moving, was the deal. And we can't check if it's moving if the thing doesn't exist, and it's not assigned until you spawn it. But we still want to I don't know what I'm control K control D there. I don't know what I was hitting. So the idea was to check if it's moving. We still want to do this check even if it is null though. We just don't we want it to so we want to do this, but we also want to check if it's not null. So that's like so we want to do it, we want to do this part regardless if it's null or not. And then we want to do this part maybe this will be able to do an if check with something that sometimes is null. If it isn't null, I want to check it in C#. This is the question mark I was talking. I knew there was a question mark somewhere. This is kind of an interesting way to show this though. Check if my object is not null. If it's not null, but then this is what, you got it in here twice? The code snippet uses the null conditional operation to check if it's not null before accessing the property. That is what I was thinking of. So if we go back to here, and this was county population dot token question mark dot what the fuck was I even checking? Is moving token movement. Come down here. Is move token equals false. Whew. So I think this is the thing I was thinking of. I think. We'll know in 2 seconds. Because if it's null, we don't give a shit. We didn't get the bug thing, but this should be... This should we should be able to recruit as a hero here. So this isn't quite what I want. If it equals your thing, I am in my county, right? Yes. And if this thing is not null, but it seems like it's saying if it's null, it doesn't do this. This example is dumb because it's doing this question mark and then having a null thing here. Check if the object is not null before accessing a property. Some property. Clone here if the some property is not null. You can safely access without worrying about a null reference. The code snippet using the null condition checks if the object is not null before accessing that. If the object is null, the entire expression value to null. Okay, so that's, but what happens if I want it to, happens if I want it to continue if it is null, but not read that property. If you want the rest of the code, regardless if the object is null or not, you can use the null operator in combination with the null coalescing operator. Coalescing. Here's an example. What the fuck is this? Default value. Access some property if object is not null, otherwise it uses a default value. Continue with the rest of your code using the value variable. If the maybe it can, if I give it this is what we'll do. In this code, if the faction data is equal to the player faction data, and if the move token is false, I want the code to run. If the token is null, I want the code to run. Is either null or this is false. All right, I'm going to put a comment in if this works. I'm going to comment in my code, not somewhere else. All right. Explaining what the fuck this is to my future self. The future self needs to know what the fuck this is. Because I do not. All right, so when we first click on this, we should be able to recruit an army leader, which we cannot right now. Just making sure I saved it. Uses null operator to safely access the move token. If token kind of is null, the entire expression evaluates to null. The null operator false is used to provide a default value false in case the expression on the left is null. This ensures that the condition will still true when the token is null. I don't think that's. Oh wait, this has to have this thing here. That seems strange, but it is right. Let's just go. I'm going to comment this out just real quick because now I'm worried that I fucked something else up, and we're fighting a different bug. Now I'm over. I was looking forward to a break, and now I'm over the break time, and I want. Okay, so this still works. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. I gotta stop my music too, especially because this particular song is not very good. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I am back. And let's do this. Let's do that. So this is what I was thinking when I was outside. Let's write this as two separate things. And then we'll see what ChatGPT says, if we can combine it. If so, we can do this. This isn't working the way I want it to work, so if that is equal to false, then we're just gonna put the same shit in here. And then we'll make sure that this works how I want it to. Then we'll ask ChatGPT if it's got a better idea to make this more loving. I don't know. You know what it just dawned on me is it's kind of a bummer that this chat bot doesn't also send the chat over to, so yeah, that works. Uh, it does not work. This guy's moving. This shouldn't really, I feel like this shouldn't be that difficult. This should be simple. And let's make sure we got this. Check for Army recruitment button. We could, make this select county whatever variable in this thing. So if it's moving, we need it to check in this thing, this giant update description info. I was thinking we just move it to a different spot, but we need it to check in here. If county population, let's break this into two things, is not equal to null and county, I think it will still freak out though. I guess we could go inside, we could put this in here. Whoops, I thought I hit that button, but I didn't. And then I've been watching a lot of the multiplayer tutorials, and I'm kind of surprised how people write their C# stuff. Lots of like these, where they like it's like that. I guess I'm just anal about that shit. All right, so if this is not equal to null, then and move token is false. And once again, I'm going to put this into ChatGPT. We'll see if it will come up with a nicer way to do this. Something, a way I can learn from, that is. We don't need this if army leader is true, though. We need, this is probably the problem. If it's equal to moving, it should be disabled. Oh, these are backwards. This should be, no, this is right. If moving is false, then it is, and this is going to happen second. That's saved. And so this is right. Then we spawn the person. And this is wrong. If it's not equal to null, and it's false, disabled should be false. And this should be true. Disabled, false. Baby steps. Get it to work first before I try to learn some new null thing. Billy Haywire. Looking good, Billy. Looking good, Billy. Looking good, Billy. Let's do a new chat. Sometimes I notice that it like remembers dumb shit. So new chats are the thing. Is there a way to make... So maybe my thing was wrong before. Is there a way to make this less... with less code? C#. What in flying fuck dicks? I've also learned, don't delete your code thinking that the chat GPT thing is better until you are sure that it is better. I have done that in the past and solely regretted it. Solely? Okay, army leader is correct. We spawn. Army leader is correct. Start moving. You can no longer make him an army leader. This seems to be working. Let's put a note in here. This means nothing to me. This was a simplification written by ChatGPT. So now I have this and I can decipher it later when it makes more sense to me. You know, there was in my pathfinding, I used ChatGPT a lot for my pathfinding back in the day, and there was some similar stuff. Is player faction, so that's going to create a bool, I guess? It's going to... I don't know. I'll have to like use... So how it works in my brain is I can look at something, but I need to use it a bunch and then have it not work a bunch so that I can be like, oh, this is how, you know, because then I have to fix it. And then once I fix it, the more I fix it, the more I understand how it works. I know this is some basic C# shit, but just that's how I learn. So that I think I already marked that off my list as we fix that. But now we're back to this army token isn't updating army, the AI thing. I don't even know how we got sidetracked on that. So what that is this guy. Now we got to spawn him. And yes, this thing still needs to be updated. So there's some issue. Gregory has location of 3. What is this dude's name? Emily Coleman. Emily Coleman. Going to the wrong spots here. This is attacking. Assign token textures is happening. So that was the thing I was thinking was maybe it's not what wasn't happening. And her army leader is true, so she should have got, she has her token has these. We know now that her token has this stuff assigned. But what's happening is so where does this happen? Assign token textures is right here. So her token has it. And then we go down. We don't give a shit about this stuff right now. And then we go to the decide if selected. Is this doing something? That's not adjusting. I'm wondering if maybe it's getting switched back somewhere. So then update token textures is this. We've been looking at this a bunch. This is on this button. Wherever it went, did I close that button? We might need that again. It's probably everything. So many things are open. Let's close the event log here. There it is. Update token textures. Let's just get rid of this. We'll rewrite those at some point. So the select county is going from the county population. So the next thing we need to check on this list is, I probably just deleted this. I totally did. The next thing we need to check on this list is, these were down here. Oh, I've gone too far. We want to know, yeah, this would be fine to know. We need to know, make sure that the county population, their location, which is it's got to check the location of the buttons, whatever. We just need to know this thing here. So let's make you an army leader. Let's spawn you. Let's right click you. County, what is the start of this? Select county name. Which is 1 Tillamook, which is, this is the correct thing. So we know that they have the correct location. Tillamook is 1. We'll just double check. We can do it in remote, I guess. Tillamook is 1. I mean, we have that in the name of the goddamn thing. Select county spawn list. There's 1 in the list, I'm assuming. Yep. Going through the tokens, through the buttons. Cynthia, is that this person's name? I'm assuming it is, but let's double check. Cynthia's stuff. And then it updates the button icon. So let's check in the remote. I guess we don't have a token yet, so we can't check in the remote. The select token sprite texture. Let's put a GD print here. This is just assigning these to their selected tokens. Where is it updating? You know what? I think this is the problem. So this assigns this to their tokens, but the place where we're updating this for the players' tokens is under is selected. Yes, that's what it is. This is the problem. Okay, so this actually shouldn't be that terrible of a thing to fix. Now that I've tried, how many hour and a half later after I said that the first time, this is gonna be easy. Oh, you gotta keep it lighthearted or you'll just die. All right, so back to this spawn token thing. Um, yeah, so this is still the old thing. This has never been a. We assigned the correct thing to the. They keep track of their what token because they're later on they're gonna have like a bunch of different looking tokens, so they keep track of which one they look like, and the county population token script itself does. Uh, but this is we never assigned it to that sprite, and that's what this thing I thought it was doing, but it was not doing this. We need this to be assigned, and we do that with is selected in the other one. This one, it doesn't matter. The token spawner, we need another if statement in here. Update token textures. I feel like it should be under this thing, though. Except for this, we don't. So this is why this is a little bit complicated. It's not that complicated. Uh, it needs to know if it's. I guess it doesn't. We need to assign this before. So where are we doing? So on here, we need to actually put another thing in here. Another if this is an AI token, it always gets the unselected picture. It never can be selected unless there's a bug. Uh, so we need to. I don't think the county. I don't think anything tells us if this is an AI thing though. Yet we can obviously assign that. We do know the faction data. So if we go here, if is not equal to the globals, then we assign equals the AI tokens get the correct textures assigned. And then if they go back, this will also apply, I hope. Who knows if this even fixed? This has been a clusterfuck of a. I knew I was going to be doing a few, before I even started, I looked at that list of shit that I had to do, and I was like, we're not going to get through we're going to get through like 2 of these. And I didn't think that I'd be adding like 6 of them too. Yes. There we go. That is the solution for that problem. Whew, we did it. Jesus fucking Christ. Uh, close the issue. And we're just not going to test it anymore. Each county should spawn defenders depending on who's there. That's kind of a big one. When a hero is selected and moving to a county and you right click on another county, the hero should go home. Hero isn't getting properly removed from the starting county. Let's try to fix this thing. Hero isn't getting properly removed from the starting county. You know, normally I'm all like worried that I'm not seeing chats and stuff, and I double check, but today I didn't double check, and it's the first time that I actually missed chat messages. So what I'm talking about here, and I thought I fixed this too, is let's send Lou Reed. Really? Lewis Reed. Let's send them down here. And as you can see, they're still in. It still thinks they're in Portland, but they are no longer in Portland. If I click here, I think if I click here, they're here, and they're still in here. And I thought we did this, but maybe I didn't have time. So this is going to be in their token movement. Reach destination. Oh, look, we have another update token textures in here. Wonder why. Add to destination county. If the destination county's faction is equal to the player's faction, it gets added to the hero population, and then it gets added to the visiting population, and then their destination is set to -1. Updates. This is supposed to update all of that. The panels. These panels over here. It might be happening, but it's wrong. We didn't remove them though from. Except we're going to have to determine if the hero is visiting. So the visiting population is right. We didn't remove them. Add to destination county. Remove from starting county. Does that happen before? Yes. Remove county population from the hero's starting county population list. Remove token from starting county. We've already gotten there. Yeah, we have. Is that commented out now? Can we search on here? We can. Remove. Reach destination. Lewis got there. If the target is an army leader equals false, it does this. Else, it adds it. I think this is old. So what are we checking up here? So if it's not an army leader, or the destination county equals this, we just add it to this thing. Okay, that's fine. And then else, I don't know what the fuck I was trying to say there. Else it's gonna add it to this. This is old. That's what that comment was. if equals true equals false, just like it says. No, this is already doing that. So this is just, we're gonna be added to the starting. We just didn't remove the goddamn guy. Remove from starting county. Where? Put that thing. I think that might all we need to add there. We might have to tell it to update. Do we have that in here somewhere? We don't have that in there. I think we want it. We're probably gonna have to add this, but we'll find out in 2 seconds here. Make you an army leader. Spawn you, move you, declare war, move over here. No longer in there. You are in there. Copy this down to here. Recruit you as an army leader. Spawn you, move you, declare war, move over here. So we're still selected on Portland. That's exactly what we want. What's his name? Steve Jenkins? It sure was. Good thing I wrote that in there, right? All right, that's easy. Close. We just need to add those couple of things. Each county. Get out of there, motherfucker. When a hero is selected and moving to a county, you right-click on another county that the hero should go home. Add a label to this thing is going to be a nightmare. If the control, we're going to change how I'm going to move this control. So back to this thing. I'm not going to have this gigantic. It's going to be a small thing at the bottom, so you can still move around. And we're not going to have it pause if the game isn't paused. So if you can unpause it and have that little thing at the bottom. Let's just try to work on the easy ones. If you say no to declaring war, it should reset your move. That one should be towards the top. That might be next. Token self-modulation should be the same color as faction. Is it not already? Here, description panel activities need to update when moving and fighting. I guess we can do that one too. I guess. I think we messed with that a little bit. When joining a battle, the sprite texture is going to show as selected if it's selected. What? Am I putting notes in here? No. I don't know what this is, so we'll put this towards the top too. All right, now we can go through these. If you say no to declare war, it should reset movement on the token. Let's restart this. So basically, if you change your mind, you're like, I want to go to war. And you're like, no. Or you make a mistake. You say here. And then you spawn your person. You say yes here. This is cancel, but not no. Are you sure you want to declare war against... And you say no. Oh, did we already do that? I think we already did that. Because otherwise Diane here would have kept moving. I think we already did it. Let's try it again though. Oh! What the fuck was that? Okay, so what happened there, we already did this. Whoops. What happened there was the dreaded focus button. Well, let's actually double check this. I think we're in good shape. But the dreaded focus button bullshit. I hit space to pause the game or unpause the game, and it got rid of the panel. And I think this is a focus thing where it's focusing, and I hate this focus thing, on like when this is up, the focus is on. I wonder if we can turn this off. I don't see a focus thing on here on the confirmation dialogue. That's the confirmation dialogues are kind of cool, but they're also kind of shitty. I feel like we also um, looked at this. Let me just change this to no while I'm here. Um, I think I remember looking at this before, looking for this before, and it didn't exist. What is this thing? A confirmation dialogue? Confirmation dialogue focus. I'm pretty positive this focus thing is what's fucking us. I guess we could test it. We might have to just toss it and use the other one that I have, because I have the two different types. One where, oh, here it is. Oh, this is from fucking 4 years ago, and it's in Russian. And this is probably like Godot 3, but that's the problem. I don't think that's what I'm talking about. Through GD script. Grab focus. So what I'm looking for basically is in a normal button, you can go to this focus tab. Or no, it's not here. It's somewhere else. You can go to and you can say, don't focus on anything. I gotta remember. Let's find it on here. Focus mode all. You can change this to none. I'm surprised this hasn't caused us issues. You can change this to none. And this doesn't have a focus mode. And so the problem is that it's focusing on, once again, I was like, oh, this will be a quick, easy fix. In my head, I said it this time, though. So like on this one, I'm hitting space. Oh, see, it is. It's remembering it down here. I'm hitting spacebar. See, fuck you, focus. Go fuck yourself. That's one of like the craziest issues that I run into. I ran into this issue in another video game. I don't know if it was made in Godot. Where is that? That was a recruit. But I don't want shit to be like that. In another video game, it was actually what the fuck is the name of that game? Legacy something. The Leviathan's Fantasy. It was that game right there. It was killing me. It was killing me in this other video game. All right, let's fix this hero focus while we're here. Since we're just puddling around, Recruit army button. Focus. None. Was that the one I was even looking at earlier? Maybe. All right, so we go to here. Oh no, that is this one. And then when I hit spacebar, nothing happens, which is what we want it to be, because you might be like hitting spacebar just for whatever reason. Do you want to recruit? Yes. And we close this. And when we go to here, oh, I gotta spawn you. See, it's yes is what it's focused on. So if, let's say, you wanted to unpause the game, you just declared war on somebody. We probably will have to we'll probably have to stop using the confirmation thing. They are buttons, but they're built in. I've had like various different issues with these. Nothing like horrible. Close on escape, huh? But I think just having my own written, since I can just copy and paste that other one. Or we could even have like a generic one that every time it opens, it just pulls the correct information and sends it to the right spot. SFD. I'm not really sure what the benefit of these things are over the other ones, but I wanted to try both. Someone in chat mentioned that there was a built-in thing, and so I wanted to try both. But I feel like I've had many more problems with the built-in one because its solutions are not as good, if that makes sense. Lord Mac, how's it going? There was something I was gonna. Oh yeah, the bicycle guys. I was gonna put that in my list under my ideas. Do I have an ideas thing yet? Known issues. No. Well, we'll put it under heroes. Do I have an armies one yet? I actually went through and updated some of this. So yeah, I do have an armies one. Let's put the because I don't want to forget. Lord Mac had an idea to have bicycle troops, and I forgot about it right after he told me. Different mounts for the troops, such as cars, horses, bicycles. Back to my spelling thing earlier. There we go. Whoops, tried to save the website. I don't think that's an issue yet. Now I gotta check my other chat just to make sure, because earlier, everything's fine. If you ignore chat, it's an issue. So I'm not gonna rebuild this thing now, but this is not working how I want it to. So we're gonna put a thing here. What do we got going on at the bottom here? War declaration. Confirmation panel grabs focus to yes, so you can easily accidentally declare war. That is definitely an issue. We'll just rebuild that whole thing. It's going slowly. It's going slowly. It's like I had to refamiliarize myself with how the whole thing worked for the first 2.5 hours. What are we at? Yeah, about 2.5 hours. So I think this is done, but let's test it one more time, actually. I think this was already fixed. If you say no, I think I fixed this last time. I just forgot about it. I didn't stream yesterday, too, so I didn't have like my Saturday warm-up. So we've got to recruit you. We got to spawn you. And then you say no. Yeah, so that was fixed. We already fixed this one. I think we fixed this last time. And then token self-modulation should be the same color as the factions. And is that not happening? Well, you wouldn't be able to tell. I guess the flag would be a different color. So that would be the token spawner would be where we're going to set that. So we'll write a new thing. We're probably right around here. We will call this change token color to faction color. That seems perfect. Look how long and beautiful that is. And then we'll do that. And we'll go down here. And then we'll go token spawned token. We'll pass in spawned token. And then we'll go over here. We'll go, what is this thing? What is the spawn token? It's a select token. Spawned token. Then we'll go spawned. Nope. Spawn. Come on. Token self-modulate equals so we have a select county we could pass in. That's what we're going to pass in. We're going to pass in select county, and then this will be and then we'll go. Yeah, this is going to be really hard to test because county data, faction color. Because we're not going to be able to see this very well. We'll have to zoom in really far, but I don't know if this weird beige color would even show on here. It is showing down here. But let's look at remote. And this one's going to be, where would this, you're not in Tillamook though. You're in Portland. And you're going to be right here. It's actually, oh, I guess it's a pink color. This is just the character body. That's actually not what we need. We need to change this. A lot of pink colors. I was checking chat again because of the... I don't know why I keep clicking on that. That definitely changed the color. This did not change the color. Do we have in this particular... Because this would be another way that would be easy, help differentiate. So if we put this thing... right here, because this, we know the token, and we went, well, let's do this first. This has a texture too, though, and I don't think we're keeping track. Are we keeping the track? We are keeping track of that. I just saw it. This is like one of these little things. It isn't like a bug or anything. It just is going to make life better, I hope. I mean, it changed it. Let's change you. It changed it, but like this one looks okay. I think it blends in too much into the background. This might not even be necessary. Now that I see like a darker color like that, when it was like a lighter color, I was hoping that it would like help make more obvious what was going on. I don't think this is even necessary. I think that was a good idea, but I'm going to leave this in here temporarily. This was an idea. And then in like, next weekend or something, I'll have forgotten that what this is, and then I will just delete it. This didn't really turn out that well, so I commented it out. Get the fuck off my list. Get the fuck off my list. All right, well, it's going to take its sweet time. Did I close it? Takes its sweet time. All right, so these need to, hero description panel, activities need to be updated when moving and fighting. When moving, fighting, and diplomacy. We don't have any diplomacy yet. You know what? I'm going to get this out of here, though. We'll leave it down there because it's already annoying me. Let's leave it down there to annoy me some other time. So that should also, so what that is, let's go back to our game. Yeah, it's still, so this is the activity it's talking about. So this should be like warring or something. Recruit as army leader. It already is an army leader. Recruit as army leader button should be disabled. Disabled if it is already an army leader. I thought we had this in there, but something else must be, that other thing that we wrote earlier must be changing that. This one we'll put up towards the top here. Look at all these things on this list. This list is insane. It just keeps growing. I'm going to take a quick break. Normally after 3 hours, I call it a day, but I think I'm going to go a little bit longer. I just want to like knock off a few more of these because look how long this list is. So let me throw up my break timer, pause my music, and that you guys cannot hear, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Okie dokie. I am back, and we're going to turn off this break timer. think I'll change my music that you guys can't hear. Yes, this will do. And all right, so when a war starts, they need to stop moving and they need to start warring. I think we're just manually updating the activity, like whatever equals whatever, but we probably should write a little script, a little thing, and it just calls it on the token. Where's the activities being? Yeah, they're saved on the county population, so we should probably put it in select token. And I think that's going to be on reach destination. So we'll put this here, though. We will go update activities. Activity. Update activity. That seems like that's spelled wrong. Just accidentally opened a thing here. Nope. Okay. And this will be current activity. Update current activity. I don't know what Old World is. Is that the one that is placed in North America that I was told about? County population dot current activity equals whatever we pass in here. This is going to be a string, and this is going to be activity. What, I'm spelling it two different ways? It's this way. Why didn't it spell check me? Maybe it did and I just didn't see it. Whoops, we got all sorts of issues in that paste there. Activity. And then we're going to go back to this reach destination and we're going to update it to the correct activity. Add to destination. So we have two different things. We probably should... What does this one do that's special? Oh, right. It does have some special shit going on. A lot of special shit. And this doesn't really... Oh, and the Fallout. Is it on Steam? So once this gets here, we have to update the activity in the select token. I want a lowercase one, hopefully. I guess we don't have a lowercase one. You know what we can do instead? It's kind of a dumb way to have to go back to this, but it's the way we're going to do it. We're going to go token, county population, nope, token. I made this private. Public. Updates, current activity. And then we want all text. I don't even know if we have an activities combat. Does CK3 have issues with the thing, the workshop? So that should, when it gets to this place, remove from starting county, enter combat. We're just gonna put this down here. put this right here. Oh, actually, maybe we won't do this. What does this say? For each war, if this new battle, this one needs to be here. What is the possibility? What is this other thing? Oh, this is going to be... What is this? If the destination county faction equals the defending war faction, or if the faction data is equal to the attacker faction, you're going to go to war, else no battle. How the fuck would it ever get to here with all those other things? Maybe that's just a check. But we do need to update this activity. And we probably need to update that in this all text, update current activity. We could probably just search for this. Yeah, see, like here we're doing it. Fuck it, I don't care. I'm not gonna fuck with it right now. I'm trying to think. The ones that I played, I think, did the Lord of the Rings one, the Way of Kings, Prince of Darkness, those three, the Ireland one, the I can't remember the Ireland one, Tales of Ireland. There's a whatchamacallit, a Discord just for CK3 modding that's ran by Paradox. Let's see. I put an exclamation point at the end of that. I guess that's important. This stupid recruiters thing. So then, well, we don't have a way to not. They're still up here. It just dawned on me. They're still up here. They don't. They need to be removed from that. There was 2 parts to that issue that I closed. Close that. We need to put this back. Here button is still in the destination or in the original county when war happens. This needs to go up here. You know, it was a pretty good Mountain Blade. The original Mountain Blade mod was the Game of Thrones one. Yeah. Beaverton is a real place. It is a real place. That's where my work's at. It's a shitty place, but it's a real place. It's just the suburbs. It's the suburbs, like the quintessential suburbs of a city. You know, track homes and shit like that. Does it see? Seems like it shouldn't be. It's this beaver town. It's right where the beavers live. Well, they used to live there. They're dead now. They're Neutrellas or something live there instead. No, it's just a city. It's just a suburb. I know a lot of people like that place because of the, you know, houses are cheaper there. You can get a way better house in Beaverton than you can in Portland for the same price. But it's just, I don't know. If you like having a car, and I'm not into having cars, owning a car, but it's definitely a car culture. So let's look at this reach destination. I think this reach destination needs to have it be modified as what's going on. And I was just adding this stuff manually in. for when the war was happening, but because I was gonna do something, I was gonna have it not be originally. I was gonna have it not be a button down here, but you do need to have a button down here because you need to be able to leave the war. So when this, well, go back home. See how these buttons change? That's what we need to have happen. And it's not. So let's see here. Declare war, you get down here. This does need to add a button down here. So this button needs to be removed. And I think that's all done in add to destination county. What is removed from starting county? No, that's reached. Yeah, see, it's reparenting. Well, add to destination county. It looks like I already put into play some of this stuff. Oh, I already have these activities too. So I think this is like a change that I half did earlier for testing, and now it's not it's not how we want it. So let's put this here. Let's get rid of this one because this should be taken care of. Let's move. And then this checks for the war to start the, okay, so that's fine. And this leaving this as idle is fine because it's going to get checked. And then the next activity we actually don't have on that sheet. This is fine. This is probably, we need to be, I remember this too. Sorry, this is in. It's right there, but I'm typing it in anyways. And then I don't think we actually, I remember this happening going like, oh, we don't need this. I actually don't have a next activity. Yeah, you can get like a, multiple bedroom house for the same price of a one bedroom house over here. Over here being in Portland. When I bought my house, my parents showed the house I was buying to like their financial advisor or whatever, and they're like, he's like, that little tiny house is all you get. I should look at that. I'm curious. Is that you said that was for Hearts of Iron, right? I'm playing so much modern Hearts of Iron, still working away as Japan to take over to nuke the United States. It's taking a long time. I mean, I can just start slinging nukes, but I want to be able to survive it. So this is going to add it. This is going to add a button. What is this doing? This is going to, okay, so this is going to add a button to this list. And then this puts the button in the right spot. And this might already be somewhat working. Let's see here. Somewhat working. I got to keep an eye down on this debug log too here. I've been neglecting that today. Well, there's the button. It's very difficult to tell what is going on here. Still, we shouldn't be able to select this guy now, so at least we know that that's the guy. Then what happens if we try to move? So that actually is kind of how we want it to work. We haven't gotten to the the retreat part of the war yet. But that's on the list. So I guess that's fixed. Yeah, that's fixed. That was too easy. Let's test it again. Let's move it around somewhere else first. Be an army. Spawn. Move to this place first. Then move to this place and declare war. And then head home. Yeah, that seems to all be working. We can take that off the list. I guess my reach destination code was more robust than I thought. 5 minutes, the whole thing's going to fall apart. But that will happen in 5 minutes. For right now, when joining a battle, the sprite texture is going to show as selected if it's selected. And now that's not necessarily a bug, I don't think. Let's look at it again. Oh, I think what it's trying to say, I know what it's trying to say though. So if we go like this, we make this person an army leader. And we go down here. We start, so this is showing the selected token button. And if we spawn someone else, let's say, this person's if we spawn someone else, this is no longer, man, this is confusing, selected. You can click on the only one though. This is gonna show as selected up here. So I think the solution for that is when we assign that token to the combat log control, wherever we do that, that adds a battle. This starts the battle. We need to like turn on hero tokens control. It equals the sprite texture. The attacker's token equals the attacker's token sprite texture. We want this to equal the unselected texture, and then we'll have this equal the unselected texture. India keeps stopping me from declaring war on people in Hearts of Iron 4. I don't know what their problem is, but they seem like they want some nukes in their face. That's all I can tell. That's all. I sat and contemplated it. All right, so that solves that issue. So they'll just be unselected, which is what we want. Let's close this issue. But I'm trying not to join a losing war. My Japanese army is quite small compared to the Indian army. They have like 300 units and I have 30. Maybe they only have 100 units. I don't know. But they have like 2,000 planes and I have 300 planes. I think they have 80 ships and I have 100 ships and that's about it. Recruit as army leader. They probably have a bazillion nukes too. Recruit as army leader button should be disabled if it's already an army leader. So I think with this is the thing we just did. Fuck this up. So that's the description. I have too much shit open here. It's this thing. Is there anything I don't think we need that pinned anymore. So with this, I feel like something down here. Here's the aid recruitment button. Check for army recruitment button. What the fuck was this thing up here? Check for army recruitment button. Oh, this is the. I thought this was inside this one, and I was like, what? You know what I think it is we never check for that. If it's already an army leader. I think I took that out in the changes. It goes away there. So we must be checking for that somewhere. But we're definitely not checking for it here. So wherever we're checking for that here's the aid recruitment button. Here it is. No, these are the this should be a switch. Maybe I'll just convert this to a switch right now. In a method, because this is getting out of control. Can you convert this to a switch for me? C#. Do it. That looks good to me. And you know what I should have just asked it was, can you make this less code? This is a different thing, though. This is these things. These are titles. And we probably... No, that's white. So then we can put this. I just want this to be more readable. When I'm trying to go through this code, basically, there's so many different things. We gotta check the sex label, of course, at some point. So this disables everything. Disable spawn hero checkbox, adjust the player controls. I think there's something else somewhere else that is checking for the leader recruitment button, because this should be, not that. This should be the only thing that does that. This should be disabling them all. These are the skills. Let's ask ChatGPT. Let's go back to here. In this one, also need to check for if county population, whoops. Oh no, we do have it down here. So maybe it's another thing. Uh, cannibalism in Oregon in the mod. That sounds like real life. If you go outside, you almost get cannibalized every single time. It's a problem we have here. You know, it's a crazy problem that people tell me about that I don't believe. I mean, I believe it, but I don't really believe is coyotes. People always tell me, oh my God, there's a coyote attacked my cat. I don't know, man. Seems very unrealistic. All right, so if this person goes to here, then I select him up here. It can recruit his army leader is here. Ralph Watson. I assume that's you, Ralph. That's you. So wonder why this is failing when it's here. Probably because this is wrong somewhere. One of these is not. Is army leader. Is army leader. Let's ask ChatGPT. This isn't always working. If is army leader equals to true, the button should always be disabled. Thanks for the clarification. You can modify the code accordingly. You better be right. Arguing with a fucking machine. I've argued with ChatGPT a bunch in the past. Sometimes it just is wrong. It's just like I don't think this is that case, but there's just sometimes that it's wrong and it won't back down. And you're just like you can show it. You can be like 1 + 1 does not equal 6, ChatGPT, and it'll be like yes it does. Okay, recruit as an army leader. Spawn. Go over here and do some war because we know that it happens over here. Okay, so now that's no longer allowed. Let's double check here. That each step, okay, you can recruit him here. Let's spawn him. You can recruit him here. Let's move him somewhere. Well, let's just check. Yep. Let's go to here. I wonder how they do it in professional coding in like a professional and real game development environment when you like so we tested this earlier. It seemed to have worked, so I marked it as complete. I thought the issue was fixed, right? And so then it's gone off my list. It turns out the issue wasn't fixed. It was only 90% fixed. So I wonder, in a professional environment, do they mark it as fixed when they think it's fixed and then they just reopen the old one when they find out it's fixed and then they close it again? Or do they make a new issue? Or do they have like a, it goes to the QA guys and like it sits in their thing and they say, yeah, we fixed it, but then like it goes to another queue where they like let it sit for a week to see if anyone notices that it's a problem? Like that, like there's still a problem happening, or do they just mark it off? Like I'm curious how the workflow goes. All right, well I would like to mark this off, but we already marked it off earlier. Oh, but then I added it back in, so there we go. We get to mark it off. It probably does. It probably definitely does by, you know, what's the best practice? I'm always for the best practice because I feel like that there's been some thought behind best practice, even though that's not necessarily true. There's like some best practices that are fucking insane. UI elements that show the war. So I don't want to, since I'm already over my normal time, I'm not going to jump into anything too deep. But I figured we can knock out a couple of these. Yeah, this is just, I hate this. And we'll just move this down. This one is kind of a lot of work. This one, I don't know what to do about that. This is going to be changed maybe next week. So I guess we can look at this. This might be easy. It might be a nightmare. So the idea here is, once again, let's look at this carefully. Currently, how it works is if we make an army leader here, and then we spawn them, and we go to here. No, we want to say no. Go over here, person. We actually didn't have to go over here. We could have gone. So there's no army. Currently, when you go to war, the army leader is spawned, or the faction leader is spawned, but there's no faction leader over here. So it spawns him and then it breaks. It spawns him down here because he's not here. He's over here. So what we need to do is have like a check for who should get spawned. And if this faction leader is there, they're going to get spawned. If they're not there, it's going to spawn the next best person. So let's check some shit real quick. So in our population, we don't have it on here. We need to update this list first. So let's update this list, and that will probably be the end of the day. This is very giant. So on our population, we have a prefab over here, but I can't remember if I put it in. I think I put it under like prefabs, which I'm not going to use anymore. Now I hit it somewhere else. So you have 6 different. It's under UI scenes. We want a population row button. So on this population row here, we got our sex test. And we got our activities. What we want is our county population. We need to add in. We could do we could add in construction skill and rifle skill. Yeah, so we'll add in. You know what we'll do actually is we'll copy the sex label actually because we want it after that. And we're going to call this rifle. We're going to call this construction skill label. We'll go down one. And we'll call this rifle skill label. And I hope, it looks like it's working. This should be kind of fuck you, kind of construction skill test. Already working and pre-built here. Rifle skill test. And then we go up to here. Public label. Yeah, well, it's back to the Beaverton thing. When my work moved to Beaverton, everyone was pretty upset because it's farther out. You know, you got to drive farther. But I think I mentioned this in another stream in my other channel. The place where my work used to be was a food desert. And so people were upset about one thing, but then stoked on the other thing being that there was more food out in Beaverton, as in restaurants and stuff. When I say food desert, I don't mean an actual, like, there was not enough coffee beans. No, well, coffee bean, I guess, is not food. There weren't enough peas out there. I'm going to put this in here. And then where the fuck are we updating this? This must be on the description panel. Look at this gigantic. No, this isn't going to be the description. Look at all that. This is going to be the description panel. This is going to be under when you click the population button. Let's go back to main here. The population button is here, and then it just shows the population lists margin container. Population list margin container. And then on visibility change, it destroys all the rows. We got some titles and stuff. This looks pretty clean. I'm surprised. Pausing time, destroys all the, generate the population rows. This is filling and instantiates the thing. Then we have our sex labels. And then here, if is male, we don't need this. All we need is update skills and down here. I'm putting it here because it's after the sex labels and before this thing. We're gonna go and we'll put in, and then here, what is this thing? Population row button. Then the left side of the river, the west side. You know, in Portland, there's a lot of, you know, not rivalry. Rivalry's the word. There's a lot of rivalry between east and west side. In northwest versus southwest versus, you know, each quadrant there's rivalry. They're like, "Ooh, you live in the southeast, you suck. You're a piece of shit." So population row dot rifle skill label dot text is going to equal. We probably need this. Oh, we have a county population assigned to this. Okay. County population rifle skill to string, sure. Except, you know what we're gonna need here? We're gonna be able to. We need to say what this is. I suddenly forgot how things work. Rifle. I actually don't think I need that to string there if I put it like this. And I do need this though. Don't need that. And we're going to copy this row, and this is actually kind of wrong. We want construction to go first. And then we want this to say construction. And then we want this to say construction. Then we're gonna go like this. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised when I moved to Portland that there was like this rivalry. It's not like people are like really intense about it. Now we busted something. But there is definitely oh, I put in population row. I need to have population row. No, I have this. Oh, except we don't know what that isn't being assigned yet, I don't think. Population row. For each person in county population, person, I guess we'll pass in this person, the person too. And then this should be person. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm not going to look at it. It's happening. It's just down here at the bottom. Oh, we got an extra thing here. I guess we could add this thing, that up to the top. Salem is similar. It's, you know, it's just a very small town. I went there, so I went there. We have another office in Salem. All right, so there is the information we wanted. It's very nice that this is our sex. That's beautiful. Let's fix that. So I had heard lots of bad stuff about Salem before I went down there, and it actually wasn't that bad at all. This is going to be construction, label, and it should say construction, and this should be rifle. I guess we don't need to have it say construction if we know that it says it's at the top. And so I was warned that it was pretty shitty down there, but you know, like Portland has this mystique of being the worst place in the world. That there's some sort of, you know, Antifa's running the city, and they're, oh my god, it's a nightmare. Have you ever lived in Portland? It's like Beirut. It's fucking Syria. And I go outside and there's like birds chirping, flying around and stuff, and I'm like, what? it's it's totally laid back. Everyone's cool. So I don't know if we need this construction thing. I think I'll leave it in there for now, but it seems like a duplicate. And so people told me basically the same thing with Salem, and then when I went down there, I was like, this is fine. So the reason why that mattered is because we need to know what these skills are. Wow, Stephanie Turner, our leader, got an 80 in both? I find that hard to believe. Is that a bug? One badass. Okay, they just got some really good rolls. So did Victor. Victor, you're great. Anyways, so the point of this is that we needed to be able to see this so that you could make intelligent choices for your leaders, but it's not necessary for us to be able to see that for the AI to make those picks, but I figured it would be nice for for us, you know. They will be. They're going to get bonuses to stats, but I don't have their stats set up. Their stats are nothing right now. They're just nothings. So they'll get like agility bonuses and stuff to those. But like I said, no stats. Just everyone's 100. It actually doesn't even apply anything. That part of game creation, assigning bonuses for stats and stuff, is extremely tedious. I know a lot of the game development seems extremely tedious, but this is also it's even more tedious than you would think. So what we can do here is maybe I'll call it a day. Or I'm gonna call it a day. I think before we get into this next thing, each county should spawn defenders depending on who's there. That's one of the reasons why I was suspicious that on this person having an 80, having two 80s up here, is the stats in my game are between 20 and 80. And I was wondering if I had fucked up some sort of random. The skills are not. The skills are between 1 and 100. But I was wondering if I had fucked something up. You can go above 80, but your starting skills can't, or your starting stats can't be above 80. But they can go above 80 later. But it's a percentile, but they can only start 20 to 80. That was part of my suspicions. Look at this person. Oh my God, not only Sean Gray, are you out here all alone by your lonesome, you also suck. Yeah, that is it for me today. Let's push this code to what branch you're on. Battle control, I guess that's fine. I should have called it war, but whatever. Did some bug fixes and very minor improvements. And I want to, it's kind of like a no-no in these days. I feel like with role-playing game stats and stuff, you're supposed to not do truly random shit. I feel like it's more, you're supposed to like make it so that the player is not encountering truly random stuff, because then they complain about the RNG. Like Harry Haywire, that's my real name in real life, Harry. It's Josh. It's not Harry. But I want to do truly random things. So you get truly random people when you start. So the problem with that is I could see people, let's say you're playing multiplayer, you could have a start where where you get like a seriously shitty set of people to start. And I feel like people might be like, well, then let's just restart the game until everyone gets a good thing. But I feel like it should be truly random, because I remember, so once again, imagine if you get some, so it's not going to be between like 1 and 100 for your skills. It'll be like 1 in 40 for most of the skills, unless they have certain perks. But let's say you rolled a bunch of everyone has like 20 across all of their skills, or across all of their attributes, and they get all these negatives to their skills, and so then your whole group is just a bunch of shitty people. I feel like you should have to live with that and just work on it, but we'll see. Yes, I am planning to. The plan is to stream something tonight. I don't know, video game wise, but I don't know what it is. Did I push this, or did I just? There we go. It has been pushed. Yeah, maybe have difficult. That's a good idea. Have it so that like, so there's going to be some stuff, like your leader is always going to have the leader of people perk, which generates influence and stuff, and may have some other bonuses like higher charisma or whatever. And then there's also going to be, like one person will have to be whatever, construction guy or something. There's going to be a second person that's randomly generated, but they're going to be set up as your second in command. So that would be the person you would hire, but you could also get some random people in there. So there is going to be some not fully random, but to start. But I don't want to always, like when you can start RimWorld, I guess, and you can do random people start, or you can pick your people. I kind of want to have it always random people, because there's going to be other issues too, like thieves and people who want to demand stuff, people who are lazy, and different like perks, or I'm calling them perks, but being lazy isn't a perk. it's a negative. Anyways, that's it for me tonight, or today. It's not nighttime yet. I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks for the conversation. Sorry, YouTube, that I didn't see that I couldn't see your chats earlier. Your chat messages, your chit-chatting, as my mom used to call it. Anyways, talk to you later.